Hey there, night owls, it's your old pal Jimmy Fallon, ready to take you on a wild ride through the heart of Connecticut nightlife. Connecticut may be known for its charming New England towns, but let me tell you, things get pretty wild once the sun goes down. Forget clam chowder and sweater vests, because we're talking dancing, drinks and enough energy to power a Tesla, or at least a really bright lamp. We're talking about the kind of night that starts with a bang and ends with you trying to remember what state you're in. So buckle up, grab your dancing shoes, and maybe a designated driver, because we're about to explore the electrifying, surprising, and downright hilarious world of Connecticut nightlife. Get ready to party, people. Now, you might be surprised to learn that Connecticut has a pulse after dark. But trust me, this isn't your grandma's Connecticut anymore. Yeah, there might be a few too many lighthouses and antique shops around, but nestled between those historical landmarks are some seriously happening hotspots. We're talking about places where the drinks flow faster than traffic on I-95 during rush hour, and the music's so loud it could wake Mark Twain from his eternal slumber. We're on a quest to uncover the best of the best. The creme de la creme. We're talking about the places where you can let loose, dance like nobody's watching, even though they totally are, and maybe even bump into your future ex-spouse. We're about to dive deep into the heart of the Nutmeg State's nightlife and uncover the hidden gems that will have you saying, "Connecticut, I never knew you." Tonight, we're pitting three Connecticut titans against each other in an epic battle for nightlife supremacy: Hartford, New Haven, and Bridgeport. Each city brings its own unique flavor to the table, kind of like those weird jelly bean flavors you're always afraid to try, but then secretly love. Hartford, the sophisticated older sibling, boasts a vibrant art scene and a touch of old world charm. New Haven, the college town with a wild streak, pulses with youthful energy and enough pizza to satisfy even the most discerning connoisseur. And then there's Bridgeport, the underdog with a point to prove and a whole lot of swagger. To find out, we'll explore the hottest spots, the coolest crowds, and the most outrageous antics each city has to offer. Let the games begin.
All right, party people, let's kick things off in Hartford, the insurance capital of the world. Don't let that title fool you, though. Hartford knows how to let loose, even if it means filing a claim for a lost voice after a night of karaoke. Picture this: historic architecture, charming brownstones, and tucked away between them all, a surprising number of places where you can shake your groove thing. Hartford's nightlife is like a fine wine. It's aged to perfection. Instead, you'll discover hidden speakeasies, cozy jazz bars, and even a few places where you can dance the night away under the stars. So put on your best blazer, grab a martini, shaken not stirred of course, and get ready to experience Hartford's unique brand of nighttime fun. Just don't forget to set your alarm for work in the morning. Those insurance claims won't process themselves.
Section 2. The Bushnell, from Broadway to booze. First up on our Hartford hit list is the Bushnell, a historic theater that's been entertaining audiences since the Roaring '20s. The Bushnell is like the cool aunt who takes you to Broadway shows but then sneaks you into a jazz club afterward. We're talking world-class performances, from dazzling musicals to side-splitting comedians, all under one ornate roof. And the best part? The Bushnell's got a bar scene that's as lively as the shows themselves. The Bushnell is where culture meets cocktails, where history meets hilarity, and where you can impress your date with your sophisticated side before busting out your best jazz hands. It's the perfect place to experience Hartford's unique blend of highbrow and down-to-earth fun.
Section 3. Xfinity, theatre, where nature meets neon lights. Next stop on our Hartford adventure, Xfinity Theatre. This outdoor amphitheatre is where nature and neon lights collide for an unforgettable concert experience. Imagine yourself surrounded by lush greenery, a gentle breeze whispering through the trees, and the pulsating rhythms of your favourite band rocking your world. Xfinity. Theatre attracts some of the biggest names in music, from legendary rock gods to chart-topping pop stars. One minute you're belting out classic anthems under the stars, and the next, You're dancing like nobody's watching to the latest TikTok hit. It's the perfect place to let your hair down, embrace your inner rock star, and maybe even catch a glimpse of a shooting star, or at least a really cool drone show.
Section 1, New Haven, where pizza dreams come true and the nightlife ain't bad either. All right, folks, buckle up because we're heading down I-95 to New Haven, the Elm City. Now, New Haven's got a reputation for a few things. Yale University, where the only thing wilder than the parties is the tuition. That whole pizza rivalry with New York. Spoiler alert, New Haven wins. And a nightlife scene that's as diverse as its population. We're talking everything from cozy pubs, where you can debate philosophy over a pint, to underground dance clubs that'll have you grooving till dawn. New Haven's like that friend who can rock a tweed jacket and a backward baseball cap with equal swagger. It's a place where you can catch a poetry slam 1 minute and mosh to a punk band the next. Trust me, after a few slices of that cheesy goodness, you'll be ready to dance on tables and recite Shakespeare, or at least try to remember where you parked your car.
Section 2. Toad's Place, from college bar to rock and roll legend. First up on our New Haven nightlife extravaganza is Toad's Place, a legendary music venue that's been rocking since the 70s. We're talking about a place where the walls are covered in band stickers, the beer flows like the tears of a heartbroken groupie, and the music history is thicker than a deep dish pizza crust. Toad's Place is where legends are made, and sometimes broken, depending on how many shots the lead singer had. This iconic venue has hosted everyone from the Rolling Stones to Bob Dylan to U2, back when they were just a bunch of Irish lads with big dreams and even bigger hair. Just remember to wear comfortable shoes because at Toad's Place, the only thing more legendary than the music is the dance floor. Section 3, Cafe 9, where the music's hot and the drinks are cold, sometimes literally. Next up, we're slipping into Cafe 9, a New Haven institution that's been serving up live music and stiff drinks for over 3 decades. This place is the real deal, folks. A dimly lit, no-frills haven for music lovers of all stripes. Think of it as your eccentric uncle's basement if your uncle had impeccable taste in music and a penchant for hosting impromptu jam sessions. Cafe 9 is all about intimacy. You're not going to find any pyrotechnics or laser shows here. Just raw talent, passionate performances, and a crowd that's there for one reason: to lose themselves in the music. Whether it's blues, jazz, folk, or funk, Cafe 9's stage has seen it all, and then some.
Section 1, Bridgeport, the comeback kid of Connecticut nightlife. All right, party people, it's time to head down to Bridgeport, Connecticut's hidden gem. Yeah, you heard me right, Bridgeport. Now I know what you're thinking. Bridgeport? Isn't that where they film those gritty crime dramas? Well, hold on to your hats, folks, because Bridgeport's got a secret weapon. It's nightlife. That's right, this underdog city is making a serious comeback, and it's bringing the party with it. Bridgeport's nightlife is like that friend who always throws the best house parties. A little rough around the edges, maybe, but always a guaranteed good time. We're talking dive bars with character, live music venues that'll rock your socks off, and even a few swanky cocktail lounges where you can sip on something fancy and pretend you're a character in a Fitzgerald novel. So ditch your preconceived notions about Connecticut's third largest city and get ready for a night of unexpected fun. First up on our Bridgeport bar crawl is the Stress Factory, a comedy club that's been tickling funny bones for over 3 decades. And trust me, folks, after a few drinks at this place, you'll be laughing so hard you'll forget all about your troubles. Well, at least until the hangover kicks in. The Stress Factory is like that friend who can always make you laugh, even when you're feeling down in the dumps. They've got a knack for finding the best up-and-coming comedians, so you're always in for a night of fresh jokes and side-splitting stories. We're talking about the kind of comedians who make you snort your drink out your nose. Don't worry, they've seen it all before. But it's not just about the laughs at the Stress Factory. They've also got a killer menu of bar snacks and drinks to keep the good times rolling. Next stop on our Bridgeport adventure, the Bijou Theatre. This historic venue has been entertaining audiences since the vaudeville era, and let me tell you, this place has seen it all. From flapper dresses to grunge flannel, the Bijou has witnessed every cultural shift of the past century, and it's still standing strong. These days, the Bijou Theatre is a haven for live music lovers, hosting everything from indie rock bands to soulful singer-songwriters. It's the kind of place where you can discover your new favorite band while sipping on a locally brewed IPA and pretending to understand the lyrics. They also host a variety of other events, from film screenings to comedy shows to burlesque performances. So whether you're in the mood for a head-banging good time or a night of intellectual stimulation, or maybe a little bit of both, the Bijou Theatre has got you covered.
All right, folks, let's talk Hartford. On the surface, it's all insurance buildings and historical landmarks, but scratch beneath the surface and you'll find a city with a surprising amount of pep in its step. Think of Hartford as that older sibling who pretends to be too cool for school but secretly throws the best basement parties. Yeah, Hartford's got its fair share of swanky cocktail lounges and theatres where you can sip martinis and pretend you understand opera. But don't let the fancy facade fool ya. This city also knows how to let loose and get a little wild. So, if you're looking for a night out that's a little more refined, a little more grown up, but with a healthy dose of mischief thrown in, Hartford's your jam.
Now, let's talk New Haven, the Elm City with a split personality. On one hand, you've got Yale University, with its hallowed halls and brainy students who probably know more about Shakespeare than they do about how to shotgun a beer. Or maybe they know both. Who am I to judge? On the other hand, you've got a city that's fueled by pizza and a passion for a good time. New Haven's nightlife is like a college lecture that turns into a dance party. A little bit of everything, all mashed together in the best possible way. You can catch a poetry slam 1 minute, march to a punk band the next, and then end the night debating the merits of thin crust versus deep dish pizza with a bunch of strangers who suddenly feel like your new best friends. So, if you're looking for a night out that's as unpredictable as it is unforgettable, New Haven's calling your name. Just be sure to come hungry because you're gonna need all the pizza you can handle to keep up with this city's energy.
Last but not least, let's give it up for Bridgeport, the underdog city with a point to prove and a whole lot of heart. Yeah, Bridgeport's had its ups and downs, but this city's got resilience in spades, and its nightlife is a testament to that fighting spirit. Bridgeport's nightlife is like a shot of whiskey. It'll knock you back on your heels, but in the best possible way. We're talking gritty dive bars with more character than a Quentin Tarantino film, live music venues that'll have you shaking what your mama gave you, and even a few swanky cocktail lounges where you can sip on something fancy and pretend you're a character in a Fitzgerald novel. Minus the whole prohibition thing, of course. So, if you're looking for a night out that's a little rough around the edges, a little off the beaten path, and full of authentic charm, Bridgeport's your kind of town. Just be sure to bring your dancing shoes, your sense of adventure, and maybe a designated driver because Bridgeport knows how to party.
Well, folks, there you have it. A whirlwind tour of Connecticut's hottest nightlife spots, from Hartford's sophisticated speakeasies to New Haven's pizza-fueled dance parties to Bridgeport's gritty dive bars with hearts of gold. We've laughed, we've cried from laughter, we've debated the merits of thin crust versus deep dish pizza, still Team New Haven, by the way. But now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the verdict. Drumroll, please. Okay, I'm just messing with you. The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer when it comes to crowning Connecticut's nightlife king. It's like trying to pick your favorite child, except, your children are cities with bars. Each city brings its own unique flavor to the table, and it all depends on what you're looking for in a night out. Hartford's your city, if you like your nightlife with a side of sophistication and maybe a secret password. New Haven's where it's at if you're fueled by pizza and a thirst for the unpredictable. And Bridgeport? Well, Bridgeport's for those who like their fun a little rough around the edges, a little off the beaten path and always memorable. But hey, why choose just one? Connecticut may be small, but its nightlife scene is mighty. So, do yourself a favor and explore all 3 cities. You might be surprised at what you discover. And who knows, you might even find yourself laughing so hard you snort your drink out your nose. Just try not to do it on the dance floor. And remember, folks, always party responsibly. Or at the very least, have a good story to tell on Monday morning. Stay tuned for next week when we explore the wild world of Delaware diner culture.